Have you ever looked at someone who is incredibly successful and thought, they must have had a lucky break? They had the means and I didn't. If so, you're not alone. But today I want to tell you something, and it might shatter a belief you've carried with you your whole life. Success is not a matter of luck. Success is a formula. It can be learned, it can be repeated, it can be predicted. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, spent 25 years studying over 500 of the world's most successful people. And he concluded, anyone who applies this formula correctly can be successful, regardless of their starting point. Sounds like a shocking statement, right? But in this video, I'm going to debunk the random idea of success. And I'll show you the steps Hill discovered, something he not only wrote about, but lived by. If you've ever thought, I don't have what it takes, or I've done everything and it's not working, you're probably not wrong. You're just missing the right formula. And today, you'll have it. The journey begins right here. Before you believe that success is a repeatable formula, you need to know who discovered it. And this is not an ordinary motivational speaker or get-rich-quick writer. Napoleon Hill, the name behind the classic Think and Grow Rich, was the pioneer in systematically decoding success. Hill did not guess. He did not write based on personal feelings. He was given a mission by billionaire Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the world at the time, to interview more than 500 of the world's most successful people, from Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, to Theodore Roosevelt. No salary, no contract, just one promise. If you spend your life discovering the secret of success and sharing it with the world, you will be richer than anyone you have ever interviewed. And Hill did it. Over the course of more than 25 years, he collected, analyzed, compared, and finally distilled the 13 core principles in Think and Grow Rich. The book is not just a guide. It is a mind map, drawn from the real experiences of the world's richest and most influential people. That is why Hill does not write for you to believe. He writes for you to apply and verify. And in the next part, we will begin to delve into the evidence that Hill left. That success is not luck, but an outcome that can be created if you follow the right process. In his 25-year journey, he met more than 500 of the most successful people of all time, from great industrialists like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller. Napoleon Hill did not look for motivation, nor did he look for any secret. He looked for rules. And the deeper he dug, the more Hill realized something that surprised the world, including himself. Successful people do not work on inspiration. They act according to a formula, whether they realize it or not. Hill called it the law of success. It is not like luck, not something you expect every morning when you wake up, but a series of principles that can be repeated, verified, and applied. One person follows success. Other people follow success. No matter where they come from, how educated they are, how old they are, and that is when Hill knew. Success does not choose people. Success chooses the person who chooses the right system of thinking and action. So what is that formula? Hill did not keep it a secret. He wrote it down clearly and sequentially. And if you have ever read Think and Grow Rich, you will see it right in the first chapter, spanning 13 principles. But here is the key point. Everything starts with a simple but powerful formula. Step 1. Desire. Burning desire, clear, specific. Step 2, faith. Unshakable belief, nurtured daily. Step 3, autosuggestion. Repeat beliefs and goals for the subconscious to record. Step 4, specialized knowledge. In-depth knowledge, not rambling information. Step 5, organized planning. Specific, adjusted plan. Step 6, action. Decisive action, no delay. Step 7, persistence. Persistence until success. And Hill emphasizes, when you combine the above elements correctly, the result will come, just like the chemical formula for water from two elements. It sounds simple, but the reason many people fail is because they interrupt the system or only do part of it and expect miracles. They have goals but don't write them down. They act but don't believe. They learn knowledge but don't plan. And the result? Nothing happens. Hill didn't say, you have to be lucky. He said, You have to be disciplined with the formula. And the magic is, when you truly live by this set of principles, success is no longer a question of, is it possible, but when will it happen? In the next section, we will peel away the faulty thinking that causes people to break the formula and how Hill shows the real reason why most people don't reach success, even though they want it. Have you ever met someone like this, or have you? They say, I want financial freedom. I want passive income. I want to start a business, be your own boss. But when asked, what have you done in the last 30 days to get there? They fall silent. This is not because they don't have a dream. It's because they carry an extremely common but flawed mental model. If I dream big enough, success will come. I just wait for the right time, the right people, the right opportunity. But the truth that Napoleon Hill discovered after 25 years of interviewing 500 of the world's most successful people is, none of them became successful by waiting. They all took action when they weren't ready, when they weren't sure, when no one believed in them. The hard truth. You don't lack dreams, you lack mental discipline. Hill once said, a desire without action is not a desire, it is an illusion. Many people read Think and Grow Rich, write down good quotes, post inspirational statuses, but they do not spend 10 minutes a day to rewrite their goals, repeat affirmations, or make a realistic action plan. And when the results do not come, they blame the circumstances. Because of the market, because I was born unlucky, because others are better than me in terms of starting point, they shift responsibility from the inside to the outside. And that, according to Hill, is a sure way to fail. Hill does not write books for you to dream, he writes for you to act. He understands that thinking without action is just a plan that has never been implemented. And action without thinking is just busyness without direction. So Hill's formula always starts with desire, burning desire. But then follows belief, subconscious programming, deep knowledge, specific plan, continuous action, persistence to the end. If you skip any link, the results will not appear. And no, not because you are unlucky, but because you are living in a mindset of lack of action, but expecting great results. Wake up. Don't dream of success like winning the lottery. Success is not for those who wait for perfect inspiration. Success is the reward of those who dare to act when no one guarantees anything. Hill has met people who have no degrees, no connections, have failed many times, but they have something in common. They dare to take steps even though they don't have everything. So, if you're sitting there with a big dream but little or no action, ask yourself, do I really want it, or am I just dreaming to feel good? In the next section, I'll take you deeper into Hill's 6-step formula and show you how he applied each step every day to turn his thinking into results. This is where the thinking really starts to move. Get ready. Most people know Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. But few people know that. That book is not a theory. It is an exact description of what he lived, practiced, and applied every day for decades. Hill went through failure. He was broke. But he used the 6-step formula below, not just to rise, but to reset his entire life from the inside. And this is not a secret. It is right in the first chapter of the book. The problem is, 99% of readers skip it or do not consistently practice it correctly. Step 1. Clearly define specific financial goals. Hill never encouraged readers to dream in general. He wrote, you need to know exactly how much money you want, when you want it, and why. For Hill, unclear goals equals dreaming. Every day he reads his goal out loud in specific numbers and visualizes how it will feel to have achieved it. Step 2. Decide exactly what price you are willing to pay. This is the step most people skip. Hill writes, no one gets anything without giving something up. He makes a clear commitment, time, effort, discipline, in exchange for financial freedom and career. And he emphasizes, there are no free meals on the journey to wealth. Step 3. Create a goal statement and read it aloud twice a day. This is the auto-suggestion part, reprogramming the subconscious mind. Hill creates a statement that includes a specific amount, a time to complete, what he is committed to doing, belief that this will happen. Every morning after waking up, Every night before going to bed, he reads this statement out loud with vivid emotion as if it were already a reality. Step 4. Create a detailed action plan and start immediately. Don't wait for perfection. Hill believed that taking action, no matter how small, was the way to put belief into practice. His plans were never perfect at first, but he always took action, then tweaked as he went. Step 5. Rewrite and visualize your goals every day. This is the step to keep your thought frequency consistent. Hill didn't just read, he rewrote his goals by hand to increase his commitment and connection. Write equals repeat equals sink into your subconscious. Step 6. Persist until you achieve your goals. For Hill, failure was not a reason to quit, it was a test of the strength of his desire. He was rejected, misunderstood, laughed at, but he kept going. Every day, without interruption, and eventually, the results were inevitable. This is not a formula for thinking positive and then waiting for money to come. This is a system for restructuring yourself from thinking, doing, results. Hill has proven, if you do the right thing enough consistently, success is predictable. In the next part, we will peel away the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people when reading the same book, but the results are completely opposite. The difference is not in knowledge, it is in the approach. The paradox is, same book, same ideology, same formula, but some people read it and change their lives. Some people read it and continue to work a job they hate, living a life they didn't choose. So what's the difference? The losers. They read to feel better. For them, Think and Grow Rich is an inspirational book. They highlight good quotes, post statuses on Facebook, and share positive thinking videos on their stories. But they don't write goals. They don't read their manifesto out loud every morning and night. They don't take action every day because they're not ready. They're stuck in a state called consumer mindset, not transformation. They consume content as a form of spiritual sugar. It makes them feel positive temporarily, but doesn't change anything in their real lives. Successful people, they read to reprogram themselves. For successful people, books are not about understanding, but about applying, trying, failing, repeating, persistent. They don't just read, they write. They don't just understand, they do. They turn thinking into behavior and behavior into results. For example, one person reads the auto-suggestion step. They write down their goals in a notebook, stick it on the mirror, read it aloud twice a day for 3 months. Result, they change jobs, increase their income, start a side project. Another person reads the same part, then skims through it, thinks, I get it, and forgets it within 24 hours. Two people, same knowledge, but different mindsets and actions. The difference lies in the commitment level. Unsuccessful people, they care, they are interested, but they are not committed. Successful people, they act as if there were no other choice. Hill once said, the biggest difference is not in circumstances, but in the determination to turn ideas into reality. And that is most evident in who writes down their thoughts every day, who gets up when things are not perfect, who doesn't need inspiration to act. This is where you look at yourself. Are you reading Hill as a consumer or a transformer? Are you acting on a formula, or are you just collecting more positive knowledge? Do you want to feel good, or do you want real results? Because the answer to that will determine, are you repeating success, or are you delaying it in a sensible way? In the next section, I'll tell you a true story about an ordinary person who applied Hill's formula exactly and multiplied his income by 5 times with just one small change in his approach. No magic, no luck, just the formula, living right. Let's put the theory aside for a moment. Now, let me tell you a real story. A regular guy, no financial background, not the best in the room, not from a wealthy family. But he applied Napoleon Hill's formula exactly and multiplied his income 5x in just 14 months. The main character is Jason Carter, 34, a former marketing executive at a small company in Dallas, Texas. Jason once shared, I read Think and Grow Rich when I was 28, but honestly, I just thought it was interesting. I didn't do anything with it. He continued to live the same life as before, worked 8 hours a day, expected a raise at the end of the year. Always felt like he knew a lot, but the results were no better. Until one day, the financial crisis hit. The company cut staff. Jason was fired. No savings, no plan B. He fell into what he called a state of reading all the books but having nothing in real life to prove that he understood. Jason went back to Napoleon Hill, and this time he was really committed. He didn't read any more books. He didn't search for motivational videos. He didn't wander into quick fix courses. He just did exactly what Hill wrote in the first chapter. Specifically, Jason wrote down his goals. Generate $120,000 a year from his online service business. By the 31st of December of the following year, write down the price he was willing to pay. Work 4 hours every night. No Netflix, no social media after 8 p.m. Get up at 5 a.m. every morning to read and plan. Read his manifesto twice a day with great emotion. He posted his goals everywhere: bedroom, bathroom, wallet. Start taking action, no matter how small. Launch an online copywriting service. Send an introductory email every day without missing a day. Be persistent even though you don't see immediate results. First 3 months with almost no customers. But he kept going, adjusted, and the first customer came in week 14. Results? After 12 months, Jason made over $100,000 from freelancing, built a steady clientele, launched a copywriting course. Most importantly, he no longer doubts the formula. Jason says something very valuable. I used to read Hill to feel like I knew. Now I live by Hill, so that success is no longer a choice but a logical outcome. You see, Hill is not a miracle. Hill is a system, but only for those who are truly committed. In the next section, I'll help you get started with your own version of the Hill formula, starting today with just one simple but powerful step. Because success, you see, is completely predictable. You've heard more than a formula. You've seen a system that produces real results from real people, not empty promises, not virtual inspiration. But success equals clear desire plus right action plus strategic repetition. Now it's time for you to decide. Do you want to understand a little more? Or will you become the next living example of this formula? If you're ready, I challenge you. Start the 7-Day Hill Challenge. It's simple. Write down a specific financial goal plus deadline. Write down what you're willing to give up to achieve it. Read it aloud twice a day with vivid emotion. Take action every day, even if it's just one small step. Just 7 days, no breaks, no excuses. And if you are really committed, comment below. I commit, day 1 starts now. Don't write to me. Write to sign a contract with yourself. Because, as Napoleon Hill said, thinking is the starting point, but action is what turns it into an asset. Success doesn't wait for you, but you can actively create it with a formula. See you in the next part of the journey. And this time, you won't just be a spectator. You will be living proof.